So the moment is here. We finally get to say,
we're back, we're doing it. Skate's happening, we're rolling. We've secretly got together. It's the beginning. The skate evolution continues.
We've been waiting years on it.
So, if you watched EA's conference a few weeks ago, then you know about the brand new skate game. It is very early in development, but nonetheless, we know it's happening. After radio silence for 10 years, we finally know we have a new game. So in celebration, I've made a video about the series history. If you want to watch certain parts, timestamps will be in the description of the video. For a little background, Skate is a game that was developed by Black Box and published by EA. It was released in mid-September of 2007, and people thought it was pretty good. This wasn't the first skateboarding game that EA made though. Back in the ancient days of 1987, they released a game called Skate or Die. It was released on a bunch of computers and consoles I haven't heard of before, but was ported to the NES by Konami, and there were plans to make a reboot of Skate or Die to jump on the bandwagon of skating games in the early 2000s, but was ultimately canned. But a few years later, EA came back to the idea of a skateboarding game. The developers of the game, Black Box, were already composed of a team of people that actually skated, and they had been wanting to make a game like this for a while. They wanted to make a more realistic, similar style game to combat the Tony Hawk games, which were much more arcadey. So their goal was to make a game that would be easy enough to pick up, but would be challenging enough to keep the players interested. So in 2007, Skate was released to the public. Skate fared well against the critics, scoring an 85% on Metacritic and a 9 out of 10 on IGN. One thing in all of these reviews that was talked about the most was the use of analog sticks to complete a trick, which was a completely new idea. This control style influenced other games such as NHL stick controls. Another thing is how big the map was, and there were seemingly endless places to live out your skateboarding dreams. The game took place in a city called San Vanelona, which was a mixture of San Francisco, Vancouver, and Barcelona. There were 4 districts in the game, named the Res, Old Town, Suburbs, and Downtown. The story of the game is after you get hit by a bus, you have to strive to become a professional skater once again, and with the ultimate goal of competing in the X Games. The world was populated with pedestrians, skaters, and security guards. Certain places were no skating zones and were challenging to maneuver around the security guards, but had some of the best spots in the game. There are also a cast of real-life skaters that were playable and part of the story, such as Chris Cole and Rob Dyrdek. And if you want my opinion on the first game, I think it's the weakest of the 3 main games and doesn't age as well, but it's still a great experience and a must-play if you're a fan of the second and third. This game earns my official rating of 7 skateboards out of 10. In between Skate and Skate 2, a spin-off game named Skate It was released for the Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DS. You used either the touchscreen, the Wiimote, or balance board to control. This is kind of important because it kind of destroyed the original map of San Vanelona, and I honestly have never played this, so I don't really know anything besides that. With the success of the original game, Black Box had enough money and demand to make a sequel. They thought long and hard about the title, but ended up with a very, very complicated name of Skate 2. This takes place after the events of Skate and Skate It, so San Vanelona was completely revamped with new parks, street spots, and challenges, and in turn was named New San Vanelona. The goal in this game is to become a professional skater after you get released out of prison and ultimately conquer what put you in joint in the first place, the San Van Dam. There are even more pro skaters to interact and skate with in this game, a lot of new and a lot of returning. But maybe the biggest new feature in Skate is this nifty thing right here. You can get off your board. This makes it a lot easier to traverse stairs and made it available to move obstacles to make your own spots, which was so cool. You want to fall into a dumpster after you grind a 20-step? Go for it. Do you want to ollie off a building and do a grind into a quad kickflip? I mean, it'll be hard, but I believe in you. This made the possibilities endless and the game indefinitely replayable. In my opinion, this was the biggest evolution as well as the best game in the series. With all that in mind, I give this game my official rating of 10 skateboards out of 10. Skate 2 was another big success for EA and Black Box. It was such a hit that they made another game in the series the following year called, wait for it, Skate 3. I know, super creative. In this game, you're already a pro and start a board company, and it is your goal to sell 1 million boards. This is by far the biggest map in the series. Port Carverton is where it takes place and promotes skateboarding, unlike Sandvan, where there were security guards. This game has 0 security guards. There are 3 districts in the game: the University District, the Industrial District, and the Downtown District. They are 3 completely different maps, and you have to teleport using the handy dandy challenge map that you locate in the menu. Like I said for Skate 2, there are more pros in this game than ever before, as well as a few unlockable skaters. Dem Bones and Meat Man are both unlockable by doing hollow meat challenges, and are a skeleton and a literal slab of meat. Another unlockable character is Isaac from the Dead Space series. You unlock this with a cheat code that you access from the Settings tab. Speaking about cheat codes, there are a good amount of them in this game, especially for the 2010s. I'm talking mini skaters, zombie mode, hoverboard mode. There's even one where you get Miracle Whip merchandise. Sales-wise, this was the best selling by far, but still didn't meet EA's sales expectations, and there wasn't enough hype for another game. In my opinion, this is the second best, and gets the rating of 9 skateboards out of 10, and I still play it to this day more than any of the other games. In 2013 to around 2015, there were a lot of YouTubers playing Skate 3 years after it came out. Some examples are DanTDM, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie, which at that time were some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. This made the game mainstream again, and there was such a demand that EA had to reprint the game, which made it one of the best-selling Xbox 360 games of all time. And around that same time, it was announced that the game was backwards compatible with the Xbox One. At this point, people were pushing for another game for the first time in years, but EA did not say anything for years. But then, in early 17, an EA worker tweeted #Skate4, which ultimately led to nothing, and he now works for Ubisoft. And for another year, once again, radio silence. But this time, something was even weirder. The servers for Skate 3 were randomly put back up just days before E3 2018. A lot of people, including me, were waiting for EA Play to air to see what was going to happen with the series, and patiently watched through the entire event, but nothing was shown. After 2018, servers were shut down once again, and was later found out to be an accident that they were even back up in the first place. After that, 2 more years of nothing from EA, but the community pushed and pushed for a new game, flooding all of EA's social media comments. Even some celebrities got on board, the most notable being Tyler the Creator. And after all of that, we finally know that we have a new game. And it's not a mobile or a remaster. This is a full new Skate game. New map, new tricks, new pros, new everything. And I could not be more excited. It still is crazy to me that we made this happen. As they say in the video, you guys commented this into existence.